my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to be doing a review for Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, I bought Banishers Ghosts of New Eden back when it first launched, and I played through a little bit of it. I got about 5 hours into it, and it just the story beats during that point of the game just started feeling like this game was like almost like a political activism type thing, you know. I mean, like, that kind of stuff just really turns me off, especially in like older types of games, you know, like when they're supposed to be representing like a historical time period. Anything that kind of sounds like a modern political freaking campaign type stuff, it kind of just turns me off to that experience. Like, it literally turns me off, and I'm just like, whatever. But now that I have the full context of the full game, I'd like to first of all, I'd like to apologize to Don't Nod for taking the game out of context and, you know, adding to the current problem of gaming in general, which is, you know, everybody just you know, spreading mass hate over games and not really taking the time to do their own due diligence to see if it's something that they appreciate or not. And I was part of that problem. I'm part of that problem when it comes to Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. I did exactly that. The same thing I rail about and complain about all the time. I did that with this game without fully finishing this experience. So let me explain to you guys exactly, you know, what kind of turned me off to the game, because up to the point where I got, like, I was loving the world building. I was enjoying the combat. Story wise, it was really good. The voice acting is freaking on point, and everything felt pretty good. And then you get to this point where you have the two sisters, the thick-skinned sisters and stuff, and like, these girls that, like, this part of the story, I'm not even joking, it was almost like they were like, hey, Hillary Clinton, can you come in here and write like the Power Girl theme stuff for this stuff? And like, it's just the way they were like talking to Red, because I freaking love Red. I think this is one of the coolest male protagonist characters that I've played in a video game in a very long time. Like, Red McRae is freaking awesome, dude. I love his demeanor. I love the way this dude is. It was just incredible to like play as Red McRae. Like, I love this character. I think he's absolutely incredible. So the whole thing, you know, it's like these girls talking down to Red, talking about, and Antia telling him, yeah, man, you can't fight her. She would destroy you, blah blah blah. And it's just like, it was almost like they were like trying to talk down to Red because he's a straight white male. And that's kind of the way I was perceiving that. And I mean, obviously, you know, there was in the news at the time, all of that kind of stuff, and, you know, and it just gets so annoying when you have to hear it in real life all the time, and then you're experiencing that in a game. But now that like I said, now that I have the full context of the full game, and there were multiple other different ghost things and outcomes and settings and all that kind of stuff, that it kind of makes sense. And then there's another part in the game. There's this witch, you know, her name is Ceridian, Ceridian, and the Seeker or whatever. There's like a little bit more of that kind of stuff in there. I don't know if I'd fully. I definitely am not recommending, you know, like, full on Bud Light. You need Bud Light to play this game, but there are some Bud Light sections for sure, man. And I mean, it's Don't Nod. It is Don't Nod, and I should have felt that way going into this. But when I played through Vampire, these guys created Vampire as well, and when I was playing through Vampire, you know, I wasn't. You know, maybe if it was in there, it was pretty subtle, but I wasn't really getting that kind of vibe at all throughout that game. And so when I'm playing this, you know, I mean, these guys work on games for so long, and clearly development started, you know, well back in the time when when Donald Trump was a president and everybody was railing against that and everything. Like, for some reason, that stuff bled through into our games and all of our everything we do. I was just like, oh my gosh, man! Like, can we just make content that people want to enjoy? Like, I don't know. So I was taking it that way. But like I said, I have the full context of Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden now, and I can honestly say that this game is an absolute freaking banger. When I decided to sit down Friday after work and get back into this, I read like a comment from somebody in the comment section telling me that I need to give the game another chance and that I need to finish it, and that, you know, I was out of line. I think it was a response to a tweet that I put out way back in the day when this game came out. And so I was like, all right, man, I'll give it another try. I was to the, I think it was like the Inkwell chapter or whatever. I was in the town where you're I was in this new little town or whatever down toward the bottom of the map, and you know, like there was ghost wards all over the place. I wasn't the only reason why I'm having trouble right now is because I wasn't fully engaged in what I was doing at that point, and then after beating that, then I started getting way more engaged and stuff. But I mean, I guess I could go back and look. I think I still have the video recorded. But I'm in this area, and there's like ghost wards everywhere, so you can't really have Enteo in there with you. There's like a house or a church that they're building up on top of the hill, all kinds of stuff. And so I just get in, and I just start walking up to people, and I just start talking to it. And then it like clicked with me, you know, like pretty quickly, you know, when I'm sitting there and I'm having the dialogue and I'm asking the questions and I'm listening to Red talk to the people and stuff, and, you know, like the banter, and I'm starting to pay attention to like everybody you talk to has like different stuff that they say, and it feels more natural. It feels like there was a lot more that went into the writing and the overall character development for everybody in the game. Not just, and I mean, we're talking just like regular NPCs and everything. Like, you'll be talking to them, and it's not just like the same regurgitated dialogue over and over and over and over again. You know, like when you're playing a game and you walk up to somebody like at the store and you're like, oh, let me see your wares, and blah, 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 and they say the exact same thing throughout the whole game. Well, this is different. Everybody has a more natural type of, I mean, like, not even Red, like every time he like leaves a conversation, he says something different, like most of the time, and you get really engaged in that, and it starts to like, you start to be like, okay, yeah, this is a lot deeper than I gave it credit for in the first place. And when I started doing a lot more of the hauntings and a lot more of the you know, like collecting the essence and stuff like that, and, you know, dealing with each haunting story, I started to get super invested in the characters, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then you have to make decisions, you know, what you're gonna do. Are you gonna you pass judgment a lot in this game, and I decided early on, and I kept that decision throughout the whole game. Like, early on, Antia dies, and then you are going to, you know, make a vow, and you're going to take an oath. You're either going to ascend her, or you're going to try to bring her back. Well, I chose to try to bring her back, and so the choices that I made throughout the game were uncouth. Were pretty much like, yeah, like, I didn't care. Antia coming back was my main goal, and I treated it like that. I role-played the experience like that. And it got pretty...
She loved me, she said. I allowed her to think I loved her back. I sat up and begged and let her pet me. I was a very good boy.
You gulled her, then took advantage.
To a slave, a crumb of freedom tastes like a loaf. You'd have done no different, and I'd do the same again.
When you faked your feelings for Mistress Argrave, you gained much more than freedom. Rebecca made you rich.
As she lay dying, Rebecca Hargrave gave me my freedom. Before that, I was her slave.
How very romantic.
If it weren't for the captain, the good people of New Eden would have let me die too. Enough chitter-chatter. Perhaps you should get back to work. What am I paying you for?
You're paying for this. This is the work. But I get the feeling it's the result that interests you, not the method. You want me to finish the job, then the story must be told. The ghost must manifest.
I do not like this idea. This idea can shit itself 6 times by sundown.
Come on, break the brooch, and let's get it over with.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
Marty, you're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. You need to hear the truth, both of you. That reminds me. Rebecca, you omitted to tell us that Ferdinando was your slave. That you owned him.
I loved him.
I was a slave! I was not free to leave! What kind of love is that?
What are you saying? We loved each other.
Love? No. I told my master what she wanted to hear. I gulled her with a lie. I thought you a fool. But no, you believed me because you wanted to. Yet you didn't believe me, did you? Not entirely. That's why you never freed me.
I loved you, and you loved me. It was but a piece of paper. A piece of paper and a guarantee. I needed a guarantee.
You don't know what love is. You know only fear. You feared being undesired, being unnoticed, being alone.
How very human of you, Mistress Hargrave. But hardly an excuse to own a man.
Time to give this love story an ending. Ferdinando Miller, the world forced you into a lie. You lived it to the full, and in the end it brought a haunting upon you. You are the tie that holds this ghost here.
No! Leave him be!
She's a ghost. Get rid of her. Wait. No. No. You can't take me. You don't own me. I am a free man. I have done nothing wrong.
No, but I have.
To hell with it. Your world is no place for men like me. You don't understand. You can't understand. I chose to cheat. You chose to kill. Which of us, Banisher, deserves death?
It got pretty like freaking like, wow, man, could you really make these type of decisions to bring back the person you love? And I as I dealt with each individual experience, because these people feel like individuals. They don't just feel like video game NPCs. They actually feel like living, breathing people that, you know, have backstories, that have hopes and dreams, and like, to know that, like, no matter what the outcome, no matter what they say, I'm doing what I gotta do to bring back Antia, kind of makes you feel like a monster. I've never I've never played a game that actually made me feel like, wow, dude, like, what the freak are you doing, man? Like, are you serious? You're gonna make this decision, and like, I'm sitting here feeling like, gosh, I have to. That was the oath I took. That was, and as the story progresses, and as you keep making those decisions, like, the whole like guilt or the consequences or what you're doing starts to like really weigh on you, both in the game, you know, in the banter, in how Antia and Red's relationship keeps unfolding and evolving, how you interact with people in the game. You know, you just I don't know if I ever felt like Red was becoming cold and numb to like the people, but it got to the point where it was like, you know, it really touched me in a way that I haven't felt in a video game in a very long time. Like, this was very, very good, very thoughtful, very, very, very thought provoking, and you know, they do cover a wide gamut of social issues throughout this game. And at first, like I said, at first it was kind of pushing me away from it, but then as I like get into the game and I listen to it, and I play through these scenarios, you know, going through the racism thing, going through the, you know, the homosexual thing, going through the, you know, the women's suffrage type deal, pretty much, you know, all of these different things. I would say the majority of it is women's suffrage, to be completely honest with you, and like 1600, early 1700 stuff. Okay, I'll give them that. That's definitely true. I mean, that's definitely true. Like, it is pretty historical for the most part. I do feel like, you know, some of the reaction to some of these things in the game could definitely turn people off early on, like it did me. And I would caution you to go ahead and play through it. Just play through it and make your own mind up at the end. You know, you don't really need to. You don't really need to be in a mindset, you know, that shuts down. And I kick at myself right now. I wish I would have just finished playing through this back when it first came out. But it did take me a while, and now that I've fully completed the story and played through the game, I'm very happy with, you know, with my purchase. Like, I don't regret it at all. Another thing that I definitely want to touch on is gameplay. Now, gameplay in Banishers Ghost of New Eden, I mean, it doesn't like set the world on fire when it comes to like combat mechanics or anything like that. It is definitely serviceable. It was fun. I was you know, fully engaged in the combat sections and having fun with that. When it comes to world traversal and having like different environments and stuff like that, like, this game hits it, nails it right on the head. You've got like the beautiful, I feel like it feels like the Appalachian, you know, mountain regions. You've got, you know, like shorelines and stuff like that. Like, it just feels like really freaking, you know, really wildernessy, and that's good. Like, it really does. You know, got some intricate cave systems, some really decent puzzles. But actually, the puzzles in this game are actually fairly fun. It wasn't too bad at all. When it gets to, like, you know, figuring things out, lots of secrets to find, lots of stuff to find, lots of loot, I mean, just, this game is pretty packed. Like, this is pretty dang good. Aside from like the little bit of story hiccups that I was having, like, everything else in this game is absolutely perfect. I mean, it really is. I mean, even the combat was pretty fun. Like, it's definitely serviceable. It does continue to grow and progress throughout the game. There's actually like a Metroidvania type experience buried in this game too, as like one of the core functions, one of the core features of Banishers Ghost of New Eden. You'll be in the world and you'll acquire new abilities that will help you progress through certain spots of the world, and I like that, because then that gives you the ability to go back to places that have already been visited and unlock new things, unlock new secrets, open up new pathways, stuff like that. And that was pretty cool. There's also some challenges in this game, you know, where you'll be like trying to like open up a new pathway and stuff. Like there's some pretty cool stuff in here. There's definitely some replayability. I did do a save right before the ending part, right before the part where you get to the okay, you can't go back. You better make sure you have everything done. I did do a save right there because I want to go back through and I want to look at some of that stuff. I want to go back there and I want to explore some of those things and you know, see what else I can find in this game, because in my 23 plus hours of, you know, going through the game, and yes, I did turn down the difficulty of, I just forgot to turn it back up, because I was, my plan was to just get through the story and get the story context for it, because I wanted to, like, you know, get through that, but I never turned it back up, so, you know, I got through the game pretty quickly. It wasn't like too much of a problem. I did get to this one part toward the end of the game where there was like a bug that was, you know, kind of, you know, keeping me in this battle, that this thing would just keep rehealing itself, and I was just like, what the freak is going on? So I literally played that for like 40 minutes. I cut all that out of the last video that I'm uploading right now, for like the walkthrough purposes or whatever, but like I was sitting there for like 40 freaking minutes fighting this dude, and like finally I died, and then I get back in and it's not broken no more, and I beat him real quick, and I'm like, okay, whatever, dude, that sucked, man. That was pretty bad, but that was the only thing like that I ran into. Some of the boss fights, so you will fight some bigger bosses in this game, and they were pretty dang cool. Like, that is some pretty cool mechanics that I actually was like, wow, dude, that was pretty good. That was pretty dang good. And, you know, when you're experiencing this and you're going through, like, solving some of these mysteries and stuff, because this game is really deep. I didn't expect to say that. Like, this game is really deep, and it's really fun, and it's very thoughtful. I think that, you know, the way that Don't Nod put this game together, the voice acting is absolutely incredible. I can't say that enough. It is incredible. Facial animations and all of that stuff throughout the game, even with the NPCs, was really on point. And, you know, guys, I highly recommend playing Banishers Ghost of New Eden. I think there's something there for everybody. And as it sits, I am going to give this game a solid freaking, I don't know, man. I'm gonna give this game a 10. I'm gonna give this game a 10. Aside from like this, I mean, yeah. After knowing the full context, and, you know, I mean, I do think that they could have wrote. I do think they could have wrote the sisters part a little bit better. I'm not gonna dock them points for that, because I get the whole. Like, I get where people are coming from in terms of, like, their political beliefs and all of that stuff. Like, I get it, man. And they're trying to express that. They're angry. They're frustrated. Whatever. I know that you shouldn't bleed that stuff into your work. It's just stupid. It makes people mad, and it completely turns people off. I do think they could have wrote that section better, but I'm not going to dock them points for that, because of the fact that the rest of this game is so damn incredible that I think you should play it, and I think you should just either tune that part out if it bugs you, and just move through. They don't go out of their way to, like, really... They don't really go out of their way to, like, cram a whole bunch of that kind of stuff down your throat, especially, like, from the part where I started playing Friday all the way through, like, that. It was good. Like, it was very, very good. And I wish that I would have taken the game a little bit more seriously, and I wish that the developers over at Don't Nod would have taken that part seriously, because it's so early on in the game that it definitely required a better touch, because I think they could have easily told that story a lot better and made it more impactful, as opposed to just being it just kind of feels like they were like they were mad at the world, and they could have done it better. They could have made it more impactful, and I think they should have. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give this game a 10, because there's way more to this game than that little section, that little 10-minute section. There's so much more to this game, and you could easily drag this game out a lot further. There's so much content in here, so much fun. Like, you could easily get 50 hours out of this game, easy. So yes, definitely a 10 for me. I will continue playing it. I still love Don't Nod. I've always liked their games. You know, back from Vampire, you know, Life is Strange, True Colors, all of those experiences. You know, Jusant. These guys make pretty cool games, and you know, it's nice to be able to explore. It's nice to be able to get, you know, like somebody else's point of view when it comes to world issues. It is like, it is, you know, you've got your beliefs, but it's not going to hurt you to listen to somebody else's beliefs. Like, it's not. And I think that some people might be a little bit afraid of that. And I've always been that kind of person that can, you know, decide, you know, if something's good for me or not. And, you know, while I don't fully believe in, you know, that type of mindset, I don't condemn it either. And I think that all people grow and change as time goes on, and we're all constantly evolving. So I would hope that people would give this game a chance. I did, and I absolutely love it. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.